Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel where I talk about my life as a 3D sculpting student and what's my week to week journey looks like. Alright, let's kick off this session. I have to say, this past week of learning has been amazing. While sculpting the leg, I realized something important about my workflow. I discovered that it's much easier for me to focus on the silhouette first, before worrying about the muscle mass. So, last session or last 2 weeks with the arm, I try a completely different approach. I started with mass first, keeping the silhouette very loose and light. But when I flip that process, because I still experimenting what is the best way for me at least, and then I focus on the silhouette first, everything felt way faster, or at least that's how I felt it. I should also add that this approach feels completely new to me, especially thanks to my new tablet, a Wacom Intuos, the regular version, not the Pro. The Pro is still too expensive. But I've been using this tablet for about a month now, and honestly, I can't complain at all. The price is high, it is expensive, yes, but coming from a 4-year-old Huion, Wacom feels great, and I'm genuinely feel that helped me to sculpt better. It's like I'm not fighting the shapes anymore. The shapes are flowing, doing what I want them to be. So the conclusion that I came in my head is like, two things are happening. One, my skills are progressing, but it feels like it's the tablet. Or two, my skill is progressing and the tablet is helping as well. Most likely it's the second option. And I've been thinking about doing a small review of it, but I've never done anything like that before, so well, we will see if I do something and how it goes. This couple of weeks was kinda curious. Usually it takes me a long time to reach the flow state, but this time, even when through some days I was feeling lazy, it was happening almost immediately. I sat down and my brain was like, alright, I'm ready, let's do it. So the cool part is that when I'm like in this flow mode, every shape that I visualize in my head, it's working, right? And it worked on the piece like almost perfect, or at least that's how my eyes perceive it, right? But the flow state, I don't know, it's kind of like a curious thing that happened to me. Sometimes I just let myself go into sculpting and I ignore the references for a bit, and if it's not the next day, it's maybe the day after, but man, I'll be hating my sculpt so much and asking myself like why I have done that changes, which is kind of funny, to be honest. And then I wonder how many other sculptors have this experience of how many people actually have this kind of experience, like something looks amazing one day and then 24 hours later it's like with the fresh eyes and it's like suddenly it doesn't feel good enough anymore. After my third leg practice, I quickly realized that the hamstring area is incredibly complex. When I look directly at anatomical diagrams, it feels tricky and convoluted. So my next step was to find a regular model, something closer to one-to-one real-world example, to help me to understand it better. And by the way, during this same session, I fully realized that starting with a silhouette is not only faster but much more effective in terms of speed from the basic shapes, going from the basic shapes to the secondary shapes. And that brings me to another topic, and it's when feels like the practice is good enough, right? Leaving some studies behind without over pushing them is really important, or at least it is for me. I'm still trying to find that balance between when to keep working and when to move on. My rule for this, it's when I hit my ceiling, right? I'll take a pause, I do more research, what is bothering me. Like usually, as an example, was the hamstring. I hit it and I was like, this is not looking good, it doesn't feel right. Something that is telling me I don't feel comfortable with it. So that would be my ceiling. So I stop, make a new leg, find more references, trying to understand it, and begin all from zero. So every time that I do that process over and over, I feel like I push the bar a little bit higher and higher up, because I've been finding less and less things to make me stop and restart again and restart again and restart again. So yeah, that's my 2 cents from when to leave a model or when to stop a practice. All right, this is my last piece, the last practice for the leg, and then on this one I'm implementing everything that I've been learning, or that I've learned for the past couple weeks, I would say. And then, it was quite small journey. uh, Legs, I always struggle with legs, has been a big issue for me, and then I'm really happy to say that I can leave this topic for now on a good standing. I can, the major thing that I could take away from all these practices and all this learning was that I can give myself a really good feedback. I could see the changes from the first iteration to the last one, and then, as I said before, just the fact that I could just identify that mistakes and see how much I've been improved from the first one to the last one has been amazing. And that's the purpose of doing this. It's curious because I can see myself sculpting from this side after I done it, and I'm wondering how many people does that, right? They analyze what they've done, and they see themselves like sculpting from viewer's perspective. And yeah, it gives me a lot of feedback. I just want to say thank you all for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody enjoy these holidays with their families, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks.